All right, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Ai, nau mai, ki te whārangi pukamata o Ngāti Ranginui iwi. Yes, so I'm Summerloo, and I have been doing a little bit of mahi with our pandemic response in terms of just our hapu and lining all of our plans together and working with our whānau on the ground, but also been bringing some information with the COVID and all of the national response messaging and stuff. But yeah, so now that we've moved into a bit of a recovery space, we are looking to really just whakapiki everybody's mauri and get some inspirational korero out there for our whānau. So I'm very, very, very lucky to have one of our tino tangata rongonui o Te Moana, Marama Jones. Tēnā koe te whanaunga.
Tēnā koe, o tēnā tātou katoa. Kei te pēhea.
Ai, kei te pēhea. Oh man, it's been crazy down here, but busy and good, and everybody's doing okay. We're all safe and well, thank goodness.
Yeah, man.
There?
Really good. I will admit, it is nice to be at level 2 and having all these restrictions kind of loosen a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's also scary, but I think we're kind of just adjusting to our new normal as we go. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. And, you know, don't mind my waka. I'm sitting in the car park at Kmart just doing this interview. So, you know, you fit it all in where you can, and I'm safe in here because there's no one close to me.
Yes, hard out. And I know you've got some babies. And how have they been at home, and have you sent them back to school yet?
Oh, the baby. So officially, yes, they just went back to kura this week. They're at Hoani Waititi and Punareo Manawanui up here. And I made the decision to keep them home for another 2 weeks as soon as we moved into level 2, with the support of my mum and my cousin. But this week they got their way after monitoring kind of the new cases and then hearing that their friends had been there, as well as knowing that the kura had some awesome processes in place to do the best that they can to keep our babies safe. We agreed as a whānau, my husband and I, and Nanny and Auntie, all the ones that look after our babies, that they were fine to go back this week. So they are back at kura and they are loving it. But reflecting back on lockdown, I went into lockdown with my babies knowing, one, I didn't want them to be mataku because there was a whole shift that was everywhere on the news. Panic. And everyone was talking about it. There was panic. And my oldest girl, Te Pokoia, she's very observant. They all are, but she's at that stage where whatever she hears on the news, she's like, Mummy, what's happening? Is this scary? You know. So our whole approach was treating it like this is a holiday we're never going to get again. And that, you know, not to be mataku, that yes, we've got to do all these things, but as long as we stick to just our whānau, we will be okay. So that was our biggest thing, was making sure that the kids weren't freaking out, even though inside we were like, oh my God.
I know, yeah. Especially when it was like 29 cases a day, eh? Yeah.
Oh, honestly, and just how quickly things were moving. But, you know, of course, we got our last McDonald's in there. And but lockdown for me was an opportunity to just really reconnect with our babies, with my babies.
Yeah.
You know, as parents, we love our children and we're with them. But during lockdown, we were with them and engaged, present, and having proper conversations and present. Yeah. And you know, I can't say it was for 100% of the time because, you know, everybody needs a break after a while. But yeah, man. But reconnected with our kids. I mean, even the husband and I, you know, we're together every day, but it's probably the most time we've spent together. Really?
Yeah.
in the time that we've been together, and we've done really well. We only had one little paku slight disagreement, but we've done pretty bloody good. Yeah. And so I think we went into it kind of open-minded, knowing, okay, this is happening. We can't do jack about it. We're conscious, and we're just going to roll with the time.
Yeah, and it really did highlight too how lucky we are to have a whare, to have our whānau to look after us, to be able to, you know, go and get those essentials and all those sort of things.
Absolutely, like just the fact that we went into it lucky. We had just moved into whare because we had just moved back to Tamaki from Gisborne. So everything kind of fell into place, and you know, we were really lucky, like you say, to have a whare and the girls having siblings to play with and also annoy each other. You know, I had mates who've got one child and it was just them and their baby, which, you know, oh my God, boring.
Crazy.
Yeah, so looking at all the positives that we had, and then my cousin moved up. She literally just moved up, got a job, and then we went into lockdown.
Work from home,
Yeah. So, you know, it was really cool, and I'd like to say that they'd done kura-zoom every day, but they didn't. And you know, I was okay with that. We were just, and there were times there where they were probably on their iPads too long, but you know, we're human. I'm not going to ground them for that. They don't want to do the same stuff every day. We just had time with each other and just got through it.
And that was it. It was really just about doing what we can to keep everybody and everybody occupied and almost distracted. Almost distracted from the pandemic outside.
That was exactly it. And pretty much, but I think the biggest thing for me myself, other than having that hononga with my babies and my husband and doing all of that, it gave, because my husband and I had just joined F45, and throughout lockdown, we were working out the most I have ever worked out.
Me too. Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was crazy. And, you know, we had like a 45-day challenge. Anyone that does E45 will know this. And we're working out twice a day. And just the luxury of having that to wake up to for your mental stability, and the rest of it, it was bloody awesome. Not only did I come out lighter, but just there's a big mental shift. My kids have seen it. The kids are also seeing us do kore and realising that, hey, haiwara is a normal thing. So all these wonderful things happened within the safety of our bubble that I probably won't be able to get again outside of now that we're back into the normal day-to-day.
I know. Where did that time go away? It's like, damn.
Man, it's gone and you can't get it back. And I keep telling everyone, remember the good parts. Because we're never going to, it's like an extended holiday, you know.
It was. It really was.
But you're never going to get that back. We're back to having holidays at Christmas, but there's so many distractions out there. You know, you can travel, whereas when you're stuck together, you have to be with each other. So
exactly.
I thought it was awesome.
It was It was beautiful. And I guess, sorry, I just jumped straight into how was lockdown, and I didn't even get you to introduce yourself. Sorry. I forgot that some people might not know you.
Absolutely. Probably like, who's the person talking?
No way. Okay, so for all the people, because I don't do kapahaka. I've never done kapahaka, and I am a super fan. I'm not even gonna lie. And I've got all these questions that my cousins have sent me to ask you, and they're weird. Like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. But yeah, so let's start with where you're from, because you're from here. Let's flex your
I am from there. So I'm originally a gardener before I got married. I'm Marama gardener. My mum is Donna Ngarunoa gardener. She's living down there now. My nanny is Ngā and my koro is Joe. So I am deep through and through from Tauranga Moana, Ngāti Ranginui, Ngāti Pukenga. And although I haven't been brought up there, but that was where I was every holidays with my big sister, Ngāti and Kiharua. He's been in our lives forever. All my cousins and everything. I'm pretty much, there's only a few of us that live outside of Tauranga, and I'm one of them. But I'm very much a very proud Tauranga Moana wahine living in Auckland, but everybody knows where I'm from. Let's not get it twisted. I am Tauranga Moana hard through and through.
Yes, let's go. And I guess, like, what's it been like since Matatini? How's it been? Just being like super famous, and everyone's like, all of my cousins fight over your solo.
Honestly, it's crazy, man. I'm still me. You do get a lot more attention, but I think the love for kapahaka is strong. It is awesome, man. It's like a whole new world, kapahaka. Like, kapahaka fans and fanatics, they are the best.
They are nuts. They're proper nuts.
They are crazy. But I love it though. I love that our people are into something that is predominant, is a Māori thing so passionately. But yeah, I think since Matatini, Ngā Tūmanako have been really, really fortunate with some of the opportunities that we've been given. So we were lucky enough to go to China, and we were meant to go to Hawaii to the Pacific Arts Festival, and then, you know, we had this mati happen with with COVID, and which is kapai, you know, stuff happens, we're all adjusting, and then we were able to perform with 660, which was like, oh my gosh. It was like the best 3.5 minutes of our lives. Just, you know, these things for us, we've never experienced anything like this. We went into Matatini thinking this is our kaupapa, go hard and do the best that we can. Yes, we wanted to win, but to actually win was a whole nother level. And now it's just trying to kind of keep positive and take the opportunities that we can. But the biggest question I got is, I'm like, if Matatini's being postponed, do we then stay the champions for like the longest time ever?
Yeah, are you officially the longest holding champions of at one time?
I think it might be, you know, and then I'm like, oh, if another trip comes up, do we get to take that, or what's happening now? Well, you've missed out on a trip, so it would only be fair that you get all of this lockdown time added on to the end. Right, I mean, that would be the absolute best, but otherwise, you know, all of us in N-Team, like our kapa, it's just still riding the high, still on cloud 9, and just embracing it and all its glory, and just holding on to the moment, because you just never know what's going to happen, man.
I know for a fact that this last Matatini has turned kapahaka real mainstream. I don't know what it was about your bracket. I can't watch kapahaka. Like I love kapahaka and it's beautiful, but I can't sit there and watch it like the haka nuts. But with you guys I could, you know, and just watch it over and over again. And it's just, what is it about your guys' bracket that you think people really connect with or engage with?
I don't know, to be really honest. I think everyone has their own whakaaro. Like, we do have a lot of support from those of us that have come up through Kohanga Reo and Kura Kaupapa, the whole movement. And I think to see a group of predominantly raukuras who have left but gone through the system and graduated as Te Aho Matua babies, I think there's a whole ope behind us who are like, awesome. These kids have done it and changed things slightly, because it wasn't one of our big idol groups that took it out this time. So I think, you know, and I've always been a Wakahuia fan. I've loved them since I was young, and wahine, all our big tangata. There's so many big groups that have been doing it for years that are amazing, and then to have this group of Kura Kaupapa Raukura kids do what we were able to do, thankfully. I think it was just more of a mind shift, and everyone was kind of like, oh, see, it is possible, perhaps. As well as I think our people that make our choreo and our actions just done a really awesome job. It was just a really good combination, I guess. It's really hard to know. I actually don't know.
Well, it was just everybody felt it so much, and especially on Mōteatea. For us second language learners who aren't too sure what it's about, can you just give a little bit of an overview for us?
So I mean, to put it in simple terms, it's our Mōteatea was composed by Mahanga Pihama and his beautiful wife Tiraina Pihama, and they've been through Parikura. They're one of our main duos, husband and wife, and they create awesome material for us. And ultimately, that was pretty much just saying, you know, tātou mā, we've got this taonga, and those of you who kind of aren't embracing it, just putting out a challenge. It wasn't a growling, and it wasn't like, rah, do something about it, but more like, come on, guys, the opportunity is there. Why aren't we doing more? This is our chance to take up that challenge and learn our native tongue, pretty much. That's the simplest way to put it. And I think putting that message out there, so for example, you might have raukuras who, for whatever reason, have moved overseas, or they've moved out of their normal environment, and their kids haven't necessarily ended up at kohanga or kura kaupapa. Which is fine, everyone has their own reasons for why, but it was more saying, look, our kaumātua and some of our prominent leaders they fought for us to have kohanga and kura kaupapa. So why aren't we sticking to the plan and putting them in? This is here for us, and they fought for us. So come on, let's back it up and send our kids to kohanga, to kura kaupapa, and put that blanket of love around the Watireo Māori. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's so beautiful, and it's, I guess that's something really cool, because I went to all mainstream schools, but I'm putting my kid in. She's gone to Kohanga now. She's at Te Koro Matapihi, and so it is awesome. So cool to see you guys, all of our kura kaupapa kids coming up, and you know, our next generation of leaders is looking so strong.
Super strong, and you know, it's not even just us that went to kura. Like, we've got some of our strongest speakers today who grew up mainstream and then just killed it when they went to wānanga and started doing, you know, these after kura classes or night classes, which so it is there for everyone who is wanting to learn. You know, it's kind of, we're trying not to create this division where it's like, you got to go to kura and kohanga and kura. But if you have been there, then what are you up to? Come on, sort it out. And if you haven't been there, it's not too late for you. It's there. We're pretty much just taking it up and going, come on, Tata Ma. And then, you know, I've got, if my husband doesn't speak Māori, he's learning Māori, and he's learned Māori while our kids have been brought up in it. But our kids have all gone through the system. So we're a partnership where he's not fluent, but he's learning as we've had children. And, you know, that's a whole other dynamic. It's life changing for him. And so, I think it's just, you know, it's never too late for anyone, and don't be shy. Don't be whakama.
Yes, definitely. And I guess in terms of those types of messages, you know, like with Te Ao Māori and Te Reo Māori in general, there are so many different taonga from our tupuna that can get us through so many different things, like a pandemic, like, you know, just like a heartbreak, through to like a whānau death, through to, you know, anything. Even dealing with things like racism and whatnot. You know, we've got so many different messages and ohaki from our tupuna to really encourage us and inspire us. But for you, just one quick question. What is one thing that you love about being Māori?
I don't know, that's a hard one, because I've never not loved it. So it's just what I am, who I am, what I've been brought up to be, what my whānau is, what my kids are. It is just what we are. But I think, how do I simplify this? I could go on for ages. I'm trying not to bore everyone. I think what I love about being Māori is that our people, actually, hang on, let me have a think about this. I don't know, it's just, I've never not loved it, so I don't actually know how to give you one answer. No, that's okay. I'm just going to throw some random questions at you then, and just about kapahaka. All right, who's your favourite performer? Oh, that's a hard one. Who's my favourite performer? Oh, you know what? There's so many, but I am
give me like your
with
top 5 or a few.
Okay, so Rosie from Matarai, love her. Mirihari, amazing. Tiria, Waitai.
I can't hear you. Hang on, I think your Bluetooth turned off. Oh yeah, no, it's going now. I can still hear you though.
It did turn off. One moment. Let me just flick that car back on. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, but you might not be able to hear me, but that's okay, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Silaruha and...
I'm going to go ahead and say my beautiful girl, Anamika Tainga.
Yay, cool.
I'm absolutely... from that.
Yes. Cool. All right, what about an underrated kapa for you?
Oh, underrated kapa. Well, I think they were rated, and I still rate them really highly. But things have changed lately, and I think it's Tuti Manawa for me. They've always been one of my favourites. They're so far ahead and just so creative. I've got one of my best mates is in there, Piata and her Tane. I absolutely love them. They were in the limelight and they're still in the limelight, but I think for me they're one of my all-time faves.
Ooh, awesome. Okay, what are some of your favourite Tudor one-liners?
Oh, one last time for the 10th time. And Reikirakahi is famous for, that was rubbish, Wahine Ma. Oh, that was just crap. Do it again, do it again. I'm like, oh my God, she's such a hard lady.
Okay, and this question is from Tamsi Nicholas. Where is it? Who from Ngā Tūmanako always dodges dishes?
Oh, who's a dodger? Funnily enough, hand over heart, we don't have any dodgers because everyone in NT is that person who will follow you to the toilet and call you out. So like, you better get in there and do them dishes. We got a heap of caller out people, so no one really dodges, I don't think. Everyone's pretty good with the mahi.
Very good. All right then, so then what about your worst punishment?
But while doing hakas from NT?
Yeah.
It would be to redo the whole bracket and just go back to back again. Ugh. If she doesn't like, I'm talking about Reikuta as well. You know, Kawa, he's not as hard. He's got his own way of approach, and that's awesome. Reikuta is definitely the bad cop. If she doesn't like it, she'll just send us out and say, do it again. She's a hard lady, and I think that's normal for everyone, but punishment is doing it again when you've given it your all and she says it's crap and then you got to do it again.
Well, hey, that's how you win.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right then, and so just a message to anyone that maybe is interested in kapahaka but is a little bit too shy.
Okay, I think I've got this thing about telling people being shy is like the biggest like disease and raru that we have today. Like it just cripples people. And I know it's easier than said to say don't be shy, but I think as people, when we see that happening with our kids, let's do the best that we can to kind of encourage that flamboyantness and just to break out of the circle, because I think not being shy gets you through life a lot easier. You know, you're not so crippled to ask that question that you think is dumb or try that one thing that you think you might not be good at but you love it anyway. I would say, and if you're thinking it, do it. Because everyone that gets into it, whether they make the team or not, you meet so many people, you meet a whole new whānau. It becomes a community and a whānau. If anything, if you don't make it on the stage and you don't make the group, you've just met a whole lot of people that you end up vibing with and loving and becoming really good friends with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So do it. Give it a go.
Oh, awesome. All right then, well, thank you so much for taking your time out of your shopping today to have a korero with me. I know I've been bugging you for like a week now, so thank you so much. And just one last message for our people out there in Tauranga Moana.
Kei taku whānau I Tauranga Moana, ko tāku kia koutou noho haumaru, kia kaha kia ki tonu i a koutou o te rā mātou tamariki, kamaratu kia kaha ki te kōrero Māori.
Kia ora, thank you so much.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you.